Here we are on a beautiful, beautiful sunny day in San Francisco on the rooftop where we're going to enjoy an outstanding sake tasting. Here, they're actually getting ready for us at the bar. I can't wait. The only question is the sake going to be warm or is it going to be cold?
So you milled the rice, you wash it, and you wash it for two reasons. You want to get rid of some of the powdery residue, as well you want a certain amount of moisture absorption before the next stage, which is steaming. Steaming process is about 50 minutes. After the steaming process, you're going to take some of that rice, you're going to bring it into a kojimuro room, a mold room. It's a big, long, usually big, long, flat tables. They spread out the rice like a big, flat Rice Krispie. They take powdery mold called Aspergillus oryzae, or in Japanese called kojiki, and you just literally by hand in most breweries just sprinkle it onto the rice. You want that mold to fully inoculate all the way around the grain of the rice, and the sole function of that mold is to break down the complex carbohydrates into their component sugars. Sounds geeky, but it's just an extra step compared to winemaking. In a grape, there's already sugar, so the yeast can start gobbling up the sugars and converting to alcohol. In a grain of rice, you've got complex carbs that the yeast cannot eat. So the mold breaks up the complex carbohydrates, then the yeast can do their job. So we take some of that mold that we just moldy rice, we throw it into a yeast starter tank, add some yeast. The yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Interestingly enough, same genus and species that we use in beer making. Different varieties, but same genus and species. So we make a high population of yeast starter for 2 weeks, dump that into a fermentation tank, add more rice, more water, it takes 2-3 days to fill the tank up, let it ferment out for about 28 days, press it, and voila, you have sake. So typically after the pressing, there's a lot of different things that can happen, but it'll usually go through a single pasteurization, go into a storage tank. Then when an importer or somebody calls us, hey, we need 10,000 bottles of sake, it'll get pasteurized a second time when it goes into the bottle. I'm giving you like a very simplistic view, but that's sort of sake in a nutshell. We have 5 sakes on the table today. The uka, which we were talking about earlier, the kind of like bridge between the United States and Japan. My main client, Ross Koda, is a 3rd generation Japanese.